I went to the corner, my friends they weren't there. They said, hey man, you want your share? I turned around and walked away. I didn't want to live nowhere. Street corners with the finest of youth.
Hey everybody, it's Douglas Scott McCarran again. I don't know if I'm being nervous or not, but I have a few friends. I have a lot of friends, and they're like all over the political spectrums. And, you know, whatever those are. I personally think they're internal stories that people get stuck in, but, you know, we talk in terms of political spectrums. And a few of them have told me that I need to stock up for food for January because something big is coming. And it has to do with the Stop the Steal thing going on. And I don't know if this is true or not. It is kind of interesting, though, that if this is going to happen, you know, they've been blaming George Soros and these two vote tallying machine companies. And the two vote tallying machine companies have started to sue all the pontificators on television about how there was all this shenanigans going on, because they're saying that it didn't happen, and the vote tallying machine people, and that it is making it hard for them to get business, and they're being slandered, and so they're suing Fox and various of the reporters on Fox. And then there's I can never think of those. There's two new television stations, or supposedly news stations, that people who've gotten tired of Fox and think they've sold out are now listening to. They're going to get sued. I'm actually kind of surprised, given all the stuff that people say about George Soros, is he hasn't sued anybody. And it seems to me he's getting slandered as much as anybody else. So I don't know, but it's going to be awfully weird if there's this uprising based on vote tallying machines being wrong and getting stolen. At the same time, the people who are saying this are getting sued for libel and slander and having their money and businesses taken away from them for having destroyed these two companies' businesses. I suspect that's what's going to happen. They don't seem particularly happy that this is being said about them. I saw where Lou Dobbs is retracting without retracting. It's just amazing to me how people can, you know, you're stuck in your head and make up a story about something and decide that that's the truth, and there's this conspiracy, and now you're going to have some big political demonstration based on something that apparently isn't true. I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised. I made up all sorts of stuff about women when I was a guy, about how they didn't love me and I was unwanted and unloved, and that was the truth, and I swam around in that. And you know, some of the people that are leading these groups, when you read up about them, they're not exactly most emotionally stable people. I'm not saying all of them aren't, but it's just interesting watching, though. I don't know what'll happen. Depends on, I mean, if they start, I have no idea what these people think's going to happen. They just say something big is going to happen, and they've told me I should have food for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, if they're thinking of doing an armed takeover, I hope a lot of them enjoy being in prison for many years, because that's probably what's going to happen. If they're lucky, you know. If they start shooting at people, well, they're going to get shot, I suspect. because, they're just a bunch of self-appointed people running out with guns shooting at people. They don't represent anything other than themselves. If you appoint yourself the guy whose job is to protect the neighborhood, and you ride around and keep an eye on things, and you point a gun at somebody, well, you're just some guy running around the neighborhood pointing guns at people. And the police don't think very highly of that. Also, I guess they want to stop the steal by stealing the election, and stop the fraud by believing in a fraud that is now getting sued for by these two vote counting machine companies. I really don't understand what it is people have about George Soros. There are apparently all these tracks and discussions about he wants to destroy America. Now, the guy spent all this money becoming a billionaire and building up his wealth and everything, and the idea he did all that in order to use it to tear down the very thing that made him wealthy and successful in a financial sense doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but people seem to want to invent stuff like that. I don't know George Soros. Then again, all the people I know that are talking about him don't know him either. I also find it odd, a lot of people are have this personal connection to Donald Trump. Most of them have never talked to him, and he probably wouldn't know them out of a crowd. And yet, I don't know, people do that. They just sort of assign their internal beliefs and discussions to somebody and then become faithful to them. And really what they're faithful to is their internal dialogue. And that cocoon, that energy that I talked about that imprisons us and keeps us stuck to it. Anyway, I don't know what to make of all this, but I sure hope it doesn't happen, because, if something really bad happened, some people have talked about civil war, which I don't think it'll go that far, but the only people who are going to win in that are the Chinese. Because if we break out in civil war and everybody with guns starts shooting each other and the army splits apart and on and on and on, well, then we'll be kind of defenseless if the Chinese decide to come. And I seriously doubt they're going to care about our thinking we have the right to say whatever we want and everything there. Chinese Communist Party has been known to, shall we say, take care of people who cause trouble. Hopefully it'll just be a bunch of people talking to themselves, and then it'll blow over. And some people seem very virulent. They're all weirded up, but again, they're getting weirded up about these machines that stole the vote that apparently didn't steal the vote, and the companies are now suing all the people who said all these things for slander because it's not true and they don't have any proof. Gonna look really weird to start try and change the vote based on the people you're listening to who are making up stuff that are now being sued and for slandering these companies. To go out and base your revolution on made up stories is kind of dumb. But hey, revolutions have been done that way before. What do I know? I'm a history major. I've seen it before. I just don't want to see it come over here. Okay, well, don't know how friendly that was, but I'll see you next time.